Hey, encouragers. Welcome to another episode of Encouragement. I'm Nathaniel Bickley. Let's get started. So this week, I have an episode for you that kind of jumps back in history. I like to go over history, and a lot of my favorite things to talk about are the world wars. I know those aren't always the funnest topics and might not seem always the most encouraging, but I know that through great tragedy and struggle comes very inspirational stories, and sometimes they come out way later. So today we're going to take a look at a little video that I found. It's a YouTube short, and it's about a pilot who got to fly a final mission in World War II to help people, and that was like, in his own words, like a capstone of all that he had got to do throughout the war, and he got to end it on a note of helping people. And let's jump right into the clip, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
They knew the war was over. It ended May 8th. What did they do? They blew out the dikes and
These are the
inundated
Germans.
Holland with water. The people were starving to death at 5,000 a week. Eisenhower and Churchill said we have to do something. The war is not over. B-17s and English Lancaster bombers put in plywood floors in the Bombay. We loaded them with K rations, food. There were 5 mercy missions. The English called it manna from heaven, biblical. I flew 3 of them. Instead of flying at 20 to 25,000 feet, we came in at 200 feet. Can you imagine how loud? The Germans agreed not to fire on us. When I hit the coast of the Netherlands, I waved and the German waved back to me. This is gospel. Yet, in books I read, they said some of the Germans had just pistols and they were firing them. I don't know. But when we came in there and dropped the food on the rooftops, they had, "God bless you, boys. Thank you." And I told my dad when I got home, I was doing just what we're doing now, talking about it, and I said it was a beautiful way to end the war, doing something good instead of killing people.
That's a really good story. 5,000 people a week, that was a lot of death. And there's a lot of modern scenarios when we talk about certain wars, like in the Ukraine war that are going on right now. Just a lot of people are dying, a lot more than that. And it's just heartbreaking when you talk about the human loss that's involved in it all. Uh, whether they are your countrymen or not, it is a terrible tragedy to see that many people dying in a week. Um, it's just mind blowing when you consider it. And, to kind of put it in a little bit of perspective, America lost, 3,600, somewhere in there. I forget what the final number was by the last weeks in Afghanistan over a 20-year period. That is a terrible loss in and of itself, but 5,000 a week at the end of World War II, that was just devastating. And there just wasn't that many resources to get these people. As you heard the bombardier say, he's like, we just put plywood in the Bombay, put a bunch of rations there, flew low and dropped them. And we were still getting shot at and stuff like that. And you're like, man, that's an amazing story. I'm glad it was successful. I'm glad people were able to be great, to express their gratitude by putting those things on the roof. But it's brutal to think about how they were put in that position right at the end of the war, and that devastation could have killed a lot of people. But it turns out that, a couple of goodwill soldiers and planners like Churchill and Eisenhower wanted to come together and do the best that they could to try to help save human lives. And I know that's going to be hard to extrapolate out to your personal life on your day-to-day and week-to-week, but I want to encourage you, just as this story encouraged me, just know that there are people around you who are always striving to make things better, and either help them help other people's lives become better, or do it yourself. I would encourage the doing it yourself. Getting involved in that process will help you understand the needs, the true needs that are out there. I hope that this community, in building our subscribership and everyone here that we can start tackling some challenges. And this is something I'm really looking forward to doing more and more as time goes on. So please join me in this. Get your friends to like and subscribe and jump in here. But I hope you're encouraged this week that there are wonderful, well-meaning people out there, and you can be one yourself, and the ripple effect will be causing others to experience that same thing. So I hope that encourages you this week. Take the time and love on people around you. Have a great week, and I'll see you guys next week.